Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's no secret that many of us are trying to limit the number of trips that we take to the grocery store right now. So we have a little bit of help. A lifestyle and parenting expert, Sherry French, shares some interesting ways to make your produce last longer.
Right now, so many of us are limiting our trips to the outside world, including the grocery store. Here are some great hints to keep the produce at your house lasting as long as possible. All right, let's start with bananas, a staple in my home. And guess what? This is how my bananas always end up looking: brown, and I always put them right into the garbage. Not anymore. You can actually have two different options for brown or ripe bananas. Make a banana bread, or you can actually take these bananas, put them directly into your freezer, and use them later to make a smoothie. Two great hints for your bananas that are ripe. I love my bananas very green or just a little bit yellow, but how do I keep them this way at home? Bananas actually give off a gas called ethylene, and that ethylene gas spoils the produce faster. So what we want to do is grab some cellophane wrap from your kitchen drawer, take a little piece, and we're going to wrap the stem tightly. And by doing this, this keeps the ethylene gas in longer, which makes our bananas last longer because that gas isn't spoiling it. Great ideas for bananas. Moving on to celery, a staple also in my home, but I would come home from the grocery store, take it right from my bag and put it into the fridge with the plastic on it. Wrong. What we want to do to make our celery last as long as possible is take our tin foil, take the celery actually out of the plastic bag, and we want to wrap it as tightly as possible to make them last as long as we can, and we're going to put them in the crisper drawer in our fridge. And by doing this, celery can last up to a month. A great way to keep our celery in our fridge. Moving on to tomatoes, I was doing this completely wrong. I was always putting my tomatoes directly into the fridge, and that cool air actually makes the tomatoes lose their taste. We don't want that, so store your tomatoes outside of the fridge, but also when you're storing them, we want to store them stem up, just like they be on the vine. Why, do you ask? Well, what happens is when we start storing our tomatoes on top of each other's upside down, they'll actually bruise, which of course will make them go bad faster. So always store your tomatoes stem up outside of your fridge. Moving on to potatoes and onions, I was kind of doing this right. You do want to store your potatoes and your onions in your pantry in a cool, dark place. What I was doing wrong is actually storing them both together. Well, that ethylene gas, potatoes also give that off. So by that gas giving off, it's going to spoil our onions and potatoes faster. So all you want to do is keep them in the pantry, but separate them and keep your onions and your potatoes away from each other. Last but not least, apples. We're looking for produce during this time that's going to last the longest. Apples are a great way to do it. They're healthy, they're great for our kids, they love them, you can bake with them. There's so many options for apples, so you can buy a ton and know they're gonna last for your family for a long time. To find more great hints for your family, find me on Instagram @MomHint.